Hello guys, I am Rufus from RUFguitars, and today I would like to walk you through the factory tour of RUFguitars. The last one we did was just after we started the production in the middle of 2022. So I think it's high time to run you through all the innovations, all the new products, all the new processes, and show you what we've been recently up to. Actually, now we have two factories, two facilities. The one that we are currently at, Warsaw, Poland, and the other one, the US Custom Shop, that is located near Baltimore in Maryland. I will walk you through the entire facility, show you the whole process, show you all models and the finish options. So this is where it all started. This is where we keep our R&D. This is where we do all the management. This is the headquarters of RUFguitars. So just so you know, RUFguitars is part of a bigger entity which is called RUF Technologies. And RUF Technologies owns several brands: RUFguitars, RUFUS, RUFQC, which is our proprietary quality management system for guitar production, and the recently acquired company Hiscox Cases, which came to Poland from UK, and we will continue the legacy of that brand. And now we are standing in a showroom which you can visit pretty much any day, 8 to 4 p.m. You can test the guitars. This is where we keep our stock models. This is where we keep our test models, so you can come here and test whenever you want. And now I would like to briefly take you through the entire model line and show you the finish options. We build our guitars from scratch. As you may know, we don't use wood for the construction. So our main material that we use is carbon fiber. Don't ask about those bullet holes. We have a lot of fun doing that, and we take a lot of time stress testing our guitars, even under the hardest conditions. So our guitars are made out of carbon fiber. After we build two halves like this is the front half, we connect them together and we obtain shell body, which is empty in the beginning. You can hear this one is empty, and this one probably should hold the Guinness World Record for the lightest electric guitar because it weighs 1.2 kilo. This is one of the guitars that is just a prototype, the light one, but all of our guitars are filled in with our special mixture that we call the RUFFAINE, and we've got two versions of that. We've got the regular version and the light version. If you want to see how it looks after the injection, it looks more or less just like that. And yes, those are magnetic plates. This is the regular version, and the guitars with that, they weigh around 3.6, 3.7 kilo for 6-string Schrodinger. On the other hand, we've got the light version, which is called RUFFAINE Light. This one is pink. You can choose the color that you want it to be. And the light versions depends on the finish. They weigh even under 2.5 kilos, so 2.3, 2.4, 2.7, depending on the options and on the model. RUFFAINE provides the body integrity. It makes a guitar a solid body guitar, and obviously it introduces the good resonant and good sounding properties to the guitar, which has been scientifically tested. Now let's go through the models, finish options, technology options, and then let's dive into the whole details of production process. So this is my office. This is where I run the company from. As you can see, the work stand, some Lego, which I always take the inspiration from the creative process. Behind you, there are some other guitars that are either my personal collection or some friends' companies' guitars that we always take a look at. And this one is the first Schrodinger ever made. So this is the Schrodinger, the first model that we introduced for sale. This is actually the first specimen ever built. So this was presented at NAMM 2022. I have special feelings for it. It hangs in my office. Yeah, this is how it all started. This is our most popular model. Now we have like the third version of it, and you can choose it 6, 7 string version, any hardware you want. We also make it as an US custom shop, so you can order one from US custom shop. Schrodinger, that's it. Another model that I would like to present you is the VINCI model. So VINCI is actually our variation of V-shape. The VINCI model is available in 6, 7 and 8 string configuration. It was actually our second production model. To be honest, I was a little skeptical in the beginning to choose V as a second production model shape, but eventually it turned out big commercial success. We sold many pieces of this. We got really good reception from the metal community. So this particular one, it belongs to Vdova, who is our master builder, and this is his band insignia, Infernal Flames. Another production model that we offer, but currently we don't have anyone set up and built because they all sold out, is the EULER. EULER from Euler equation, and this is our variation of EX guitar shape with a reverse headstock. It's available as 6 strings only, and as you can see, you can choose the variety of different finish options. This one is just after painting, before polishing. So yeah, this is the EULER. So this is the Hawking model. This is the first US exclusive model that we only built in US custom shop. The history of this guitar is that 2 years ago we announced the competition that you can design your guitar and win it, and eventually it might get into the production model. One of the guys, Filip Buszewski, designed it, and this is basically, let's say, twist history about the Schrodinger with double-side headstock. He won this competition, he got the guitar, and we made a production model out of it. This is actually the only one we have here. This is the first US-made version of it, and so far we want to keep it the US custom shop exclusive. Obviously, you can get pretty much any configuration you want, so Evertune, Floyd Rose. It goes in a typical 25.5 scale, and this is like a little offset Schrodinger with some twists around it. And obviously, you can see made in USA. Right. So this is the, let's say, pre-paint booth, where our mix room, where we mix our resins, mix our lacquers and coatings. So all variety of colors, pretty much anything you want. We mix our paints in-house. We can choose pretty much any color you want, from the RAL color palette, pearl color palette, neons, pretty much anything you want. Like you just send us the inspiration, we try to mix it, we try to prepare it, we send you the samples, and after you accept it, we enter the other room. This is where we paint our guitars. So this one actually is a cloth top, very special one, lava one. So this one just getting the clear coat to be closed and to get the perfect gloss look. So the first step, the heart of our build, is the lamination process. So making the composite shell, the exoskeleton of the guitar body. Let's get in. So the process begins with something like this. This is the mold, the half of the body. This is like the mother of all the VINCI, I guess 7 strings. And this is the top half, female mold, the negative mold. So what actually happens, we take 2 halves like this, the front half, which you can see, and the back half, which is somewhere around. So the first step is to place carbon fabric inside of the mold. So this is what it looks like in the beginning. So this material, the carbon fiber, the carbon fabric, is exactly the same material that the Olympic boats are made of, extreme bikes are made of, Formula One, planes, boats. So this is like the top tier, the best you can get when it comes to the material properties. Even the spaceships are partially made out of the carbon fiber. So this is like the best mechanical properties you can get out of the material when it comes to the weight to strength ratio. The core and whole body is made out of carbon fiber with epoxy resin. So this is actually the container with epoxy resin. We use the infusion lamination process, and you can see that we place all the materials with specific layers inside of the mold. Then we close it in the vacuum bag, and eventually we suck out the air, and at the same process, at the same time, we suck in the resin, which gets through and it cures inside of the mold, inside of the bag. After several hours, we can take it out. Once we take it out, we place it to the oven, where it just heats under the certain temperature to get all the mechanical properties and all the physical properties that are intended to be in a finished product. So this is our self-built oven. This is heated by our lamp. We heat them up to the 60-70 degrees until the resin is cured. I think this is the best moment to tell you what are the options, because as I told you, the guitars are made out of carbon fiber, but we have three additional options that you can choose from. So we offered something that is called cloth top, and we offered something that is called wood top. And how do we make it? For the cloth top, you can see we take the polyester cloth, which is just the printed fabric. You can take a look on this one, for example. So this is actually the fabric that you can make your dress of. You can put this fabric on your couch, depending on the variation of the fabric. We use different ones for different models, and pretty much you can print anything you want. And if you choose the cloth top option, this is the first layer that goes into the mold. So we pretty much cut the shape and place it inside of the mold. After that, we put the carbon fiber. So you can see, if you choose, for example, this beautiful flower fabric, this is the first layer that will go inside. And then on top of that, we will place the carbon fiber. The only disadvantage of this choice is that because we've got some extra layers of material, they soaked in the resin, and it slightly increases the mass of the instrument. The increase of the mass choosing the cloth top could be like from 200 up to 400 grams for each guitar. Another finish option you can choose is the wood top. This is the only time we use natural wood. We have variety of veneers you can choose from. So for example, this is some leftovers of the poplar. You can choose some walnut, the book matches. Here we have some kind of ebony for the headstock. Obviously the maples you can see there. And if you choose the wood top, we simply take the piece of it. As I told you, we can do the book match, and we place it inside of the mold as the first layer, and afterwards we place the carbon fiber. So you've got the carbon fiber body, carbon fiber guitar with the wood look on top of it. The last option though, which is I guess the most exciting one, is called the custom option. And in the custom option, we can pretty much laminate anything you want. Testimonials, your I don't know, your souvenirs, pretty much anything you want. So you can see the example here. This is the guitar where we have laminated, sparkling, whatever it is, sand, or, I mean, it's your choice. You can laminate anything. And here you can see the front half of the mold for the Schrodinger 7-string, which has been renewed. So this is the new version of the Schrodinger 7. After the lamination process, this is one of the halves looks like. This is the ziricote finish, the wood top, you can see. And as you can see, we've got some carbon offset, which needs to be cut off. So it goes onto the CNC machine, and after the cutting, we've got something like that. So two cut halves that match perfectly each other, ready to be glued on and ready to be filled inside. After we've got two halves glued together, you can see the glue edge, which gets burst eventually. We drill few holes, like in here, in there, and we inject RUFFAINE inside. As I told you, we can choose from two options of the RUFFAINE. One is the regular one, the heavy one, which provides you the very good mechanical properties. I mean, it's simply indestructible. And the other one is RUFFAINE Light, which provides you the best compromise between weight and the sounding abilities. After it's filled, we perform another inspection. Come on, let's see this. Once the guitar is filled, it goes through the X-ray process. Please stop. For example, here, this one, you can see that it's not filled totally yet. Here we have some void, so it requires additional filling, which we will do as a last step because there are air bubbles get in certain cavities. So we'll drill another hole and fill it with RUFFAINE so it's properly, fully filled inside. Once the guitar is inspected and fully injected with RUFFAINE, it goes back into the CNC process. The next step is simply drilling and preparing the cavities for the hardware. So the cavities for the truss rod, cavities for the tuners, cavities for the pickups, bridge, electronics, and once guitar leaves the CNC, it is ready to take on the fretboard. For the fretboards, we use exclusively the Richlite material. Richlite is high-pressure laminate made out of compressed paper with phenolic resin, and this behaves and looks in its basic version, which is called black diamond. It looks and behaves as an ebony, and it has very similar properties to the ebony when it comes to the sound and to the mechanical properties. It doesn't react with moisture, it doesn't react with humidity, it's resistant for the temperature, so it is kind of the composite material which perfectly fits our instrument, and we exclusively use Richlite material. And you can choose from variety of colors, you can choose from variety of finishes. So these are the regular black ones, Maple Valley, which imitates the maple, and we have some customs, so multicolor ones. You can see the variety of versions, either plain colors. The best way to see those and to go through is to visit our configurator. Each of the fretboard is milled on the CNC machine, so you can actually see one of the examples here. We start from the blank material. We craft the inlays, we craft the fret slots, and we craft the radius that we want to have on our instrument. Here you can see the polish station where we polish the frets, where we polish the lacquers. So obviously each guitar, after getting out from the lamination process, it gets through the sanding process. So you can see sanding the carbon, sanding the surfaces to make them perfect. So currently Vova is preparing the reinforcements for the floyd rose system. Whenever you choose the floyd rose option, it gets the reinforcements from ridge light inside to provide the best stability and best tuning of your instrument. So this is our engineer's cave. We've got here the design engineers and R&D engineers who work on new models, who work on the CNC processes, and who simply design what's going to be next in the RUFguitars. So you can see their cave. Currently, Vdova is preparing the side inlays, the side cheek sound inlays. So we use luminlay. This is luminlay blue.
Perfect side.
Yeah, and look at this fretboard. Show them, show them. What the quack! And this one would be fitted into this guitar. What a quack! One of the major steps in our production is fret dressing and preparing the frets. So this is the stand where we actually crown the frets, finish the corners, finish the ends of the frets, pretty much do all the fret leveling and fret dressing. So this is the final setup station. This is where we finish the setup, place the nut, put all the hardware in, where we check if the intonation is correct, and where we simply put the strings on the guitar. After this stage, the guitar goes to the packing room where it goes through the final QC process. But before the guitar goes upstairs for the final QC, we perform one more step. It goes here. This is the RUFQC, the quality control station. At this stand, we test whether the setup of the guitar is fine, whether the frets are fine. So it works as a final control station for the fretwork and for the setup. Another automated RUFQC control station is this one, where we check the quality of our paint job. Let's see how this one performs. As you can see, the paint job has been done flawlessly. So the next step is the fretboard. So in the beginning, we mill the ridge light to get a fretboard shape. Here you can see the milled inlays for one of our artists. Then we place the inlays. Usually we're made out of resin, sometimes abalone or other materials. And it goes back to the CNC to get the fret slots and proper radius. So this is one of the finished fretboards, just that requires scraping the edges. And this fretboard would go on one of our guitars. The fretboard gluing is another handmade process. So this is the jig for gluing the single fretboard. We place it on a guitar, truss rod goes inside, and this is done using the epoxy resin. Once the guitar has the fretboard, it gets to stage like this. This one actually might be coated, but it's gonna be in that process. After getting the fretboard, it goes through the sanding process one more time and gets prepared for the paint job. One of the major steps in the guitar building process is sanding. The guitars go through several steps of sanding. After gluing the halves together, after the filling with RUFFAINE, after gluing the fretboard, and between each clear coat before each paint and after each paint, we go through the sanding process. Eventually, if it goes into the gloss, it goes through the polishing process as well. So this takes like the major chunk of time to build your guitar. Sanding is crucial in the building process. Here you can see the stand for preparing the frets. So we cut the frets in here, and once the frets are ready, once the guitar is ready, this is the stand where we hand press each of the fret. Pretty much that's all. So you've seen the production process. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll walk you through our wall of shame where we have our prototypes and models that had some minor issues and didn't go through the production. The guitars after the shooting. And yeah, that's it. Show yourself. This is the office where we ship, discuss with clients, and do all the management and marketing. And this is Leszek. Leszek is our COO and marketing manager. Hey Leszek. And now we get into the shipping room. So this is where we keep our cardboards, where we pack our guitars, where we do the final quality check. So this is the final quality check desk. We check if all the guitars are done correctly, if there are no blemishes, no loose strings like in this one, if there are no issues with the finish. All the quality checklist, take photos, do not touch guitars without gloves. So this is where actually we keep the final steps of our production. For the packing, all of our guitars come in pretty stiff and pretty hard soft cases with RUF logo on it. They are also made in Poland and they are available for all the models. And for the Schrodinger and Hawking models, we can offer additional, as an option, the Hiscox cases with our logo. Soon, probably, the Hiscox will be available also for EULER and for the VINCI models. Very tough, very durable, the best you can get in the market. If you want to see what varieties you have, what options you can choose from, go into RUFguitars.com webpage, order now configurator, and here you can see whole variety of choice. So first we select the model, then we go through the number of strings. Let's choose 7 strings. Scale, we've got certain variety of scales, and always we can choose multi-scale or true temperament. Then you can choose your orientation, your dexterity, like right hand, left hand. All models are available in the left hands. And now you can choose the technology, full carbon, cloth top, wood top, or custom. Let's go with the carbon body. You can choose the carbon type. So we have 3 carbon types. The most popular one that you could see is the twill carbon. The another one is spaghetti carbon, where we have like variety of long pattern carbons that look like a spaghetti, or forged carbon, so shortcut carbon fibers with random orientation. So let's choose forged carbon. You can choose the finish, gloss, satin. We've got semi-gloss and other, where you can choose like structural paint. You can choose unpainted raw. You can choose, pretty much anything you want. We can crush the guitars. We can put bullet holes in it. So it goes under the other finish type. Then you can select how your body top would look like. Obviously, this option is only available for the carbon finish, because if you choose the wood top or if you choose the cloth top, it would simply be the finish of the top, cloth top or wood top. But once you have the carbon, you can choose either the transparent carbon or the painted body. I'm gonna choose open carbon. Then you can choose select your body bag. If you choose carbon, you would have matching bag, which goes as a bar, so it will be black bag. Or you can choose also open carbon, and you can, for the open carbon, select additional two options, which is crackle. It would go with the paint, and in the crackles you will see the carbon structure. Or you can choose the carbon camo, which goes camo, and the background will be carbon. You don't have to choose options here, but you can. And the burst. I mean, beside the painted bodies, we always put the burst. The default color of the burst is the black or the matching burst, but we can pretty much choose anything you want, and we can even choose the carbon, forged carbon burst, which is the real carbon look. We can select the burst size. The minimal just covers the edges where the glue was added, so it just hides the gluing of the halves of the bodies. And medium leaves you the slight edge, while the wide burst gives the significant appear of the burst on your body. You can choose the neck finish type, which is the same as the body, so the matching. If it's gloss, it's gloss. If it's satin, it's satin. Or you can choose the satin for the gloss option, so you have satin neck on gloss body. Also, you can select the color of your neck. It can be also matching your body, or it can be left as a transparent carbon. The same goes with your headstock. You can choose either the transparent headstock, which leaves you the carbon, or go with the painted headstock. And for the headstock and for the neck, you can choose the type of the carbon you want to add. Then we go into the fretboard. You can choose either the single color or multicolor for 6 strings, and we've got variety of rich light colors to choose from. Since very recent time, we offer also the fretboard binding, so you can choose the binding type, binding color, or just go with no binding. Then we've got the inlay selection. Our standard is hex, so we've got either hex dots or hex rings. We've got the hex blocks, or you can just choose the custom inlay for your fretboard. Then you can choose the inlay material. The standard is made out of the resin. It can be white, black, matching. It can be glow in the dark, abalone, mother of pearl, or some custom inlays made out of the bullet shells or bullet casings or whatever. Inlay position, regular, offset, custom. Side dots. For the side dots, as I said previously, we use Luminlay. You can choose from green one and blue one. And if you choose the maple fretboard or light fretboard, it will be covered with a dark black ring, so you can see it. You can get some add-ons like antibacterial coating on the neck, so your hands don't sweat that much. You can choose the body relic. You can select the RUFFAINE, light and regular, which actually identifies the weight of the instrument and how durable it is. The light is durable, but when you choose the regular, it's like super heavy. You can smack the guitar and crush the walls with it. Obviously, selecting the hardware, so selecting the bridge, selecting the tuner types, selecting the hardware color. You can choose also the mixed and the aged hardware, selecting the type of knobs, color of your knobs, strap locks. We offer Schaller, Dunlop, DiMarzio, and if you ask, we can offer you any other one. Frets, standard is Jescar stainless steel jumbo frets. We offer Evo Gold, which is not in production anymore, or other frets like nickel, anything else. Select the strings, tuning, and the pickup configuration. After that, we've got pickup brand. Once you select the pickup brand, you gotta select the pickup color and finish. Obviously, write the type of the model of the pickups you want in the final comments at the checkout. And electronics configuration, switch type, electronics position, some electronic add-ons like, I don't know, push-pull, kill switch, piezo system, sustain X system, some kind of custom wiring. Also, any specifics, please write in the comments at the end. Eventually, you can choose the delivery time and go to the final checkout, which will put all of those selections into the cart, or simply export the configuration and send it to us. Thank you for your time and see you next time.